Hello, and welcome back to yet another episode of Liberty for Philly podcast. Don't exactly remember what episode we're on. Yeah, that might be a problem, but whatever. Mitchell, we'll put that in the title. Yeah, my memory's kind of failing me right now, but whatever. So Mitchell is at Citizens Bank Park. He's seeing the Phillies play right now. So you're just stuck with me. I apologize to those viewing. So we're gonna just do maybe a quick run around of the Philly sports, and then just take a visit with the rest of the playoffs, like with the NBA and the NHL playoffs as well. So let's get this first episode of June underway, starting with the Phillies, who are obviously playing against the Nationals. They struggled with the bats last night. They lost 2-1 to the Nationals. It was a Wheeler day yesterday, which apparently Phillies Twitter gets very excited about. They did not support him at all whatsoever, getting only a run on 6 hits. It was Wheeler. It was Wheeler. Okay, just making sure. He went 7 1/3, allowing 5 hits, 2 runs, walked 2, struck out 8. Great outing by him. Unfortunately, the Phillies were unable to do anything against Max Scherzer, who also went into the 8th inning and then allowed only 5 hits, a run. Obviously, it was earned, a walk, and 9 strikeouts. So all of that happened, and then the Wednesday game against Cincinnati was postponed, and on Monday they got destroyed 11-1. However, they were able to bounce back and hit, I believe it was like 6 home runs against them in a 17-3 win on Tuesday, including 2 coming from Odubel Herrera, and Matt Joyce also hit a grand slam that game. So today they have a 4:05 game against the Nationals, which Mitchell will be at, which is why you're just stuck with me. And then they've got a 1:05 game tomorrow. So today's pitching matchup. I haven't gotten a read on that one yet, but Hector Neris actually just got news 6 minutes ago. Hector Neris was placed on the paternity list, so congratulations to his family. We won't be able to have him giving us heart attacks in the closer role. Maybe we can have Alvarado be in that scenario, but there will be no Hector Neris for, I'd say, the next week or so, because, well, he just got placed on the paternity list. So congratulations once again to the Neris family for the birth of their new child. Well, assuming it all goes well. I don't know if it happened yet, but he was just put on the list 6 minutes ago. Just wanted to let you know, guys, it doesn't really mean anything, but you can watch Rays and Rangers at 4:05 for free on MLB TV, but that doesn't really mean much. So today's pitching matchup, by the way, now that I actually have it up, is Joe Ross, who is 2-5 with a 5.40 ERA, against Spencer Howard, who is 0-1, 5.56 ERA, who went to he went, I believe it was like 4 1/3 or something like that against the Marlins a week ago. I remember that game. In his last start, it was on a Thursday against the Marlins, and then Rangers. Suarez helped. We already do have the lineup, by the way. So for the Nationals, it'll be Trey Turner, who's playing short, Josh Harrison playing second, third is Juan Soto playing right. He's playing right. Fourth is Josh Bell playing first. Fifth is Kyle Schwarber playing left. The batting sixth is Starlin Castro is playing third. Number 7 is Alex Avila. Oh, nostalgia. He's batting seventh. He's playing catcher. Batting eighth is Victor Robles, the center fielder, and then Joe Ross is batting ninth, who apparently has a 3.13 average. Good for him. And then for the Phillies, leading off is Odubel Herrera playing center. Segura is playing second. He's also batting second. Third is Harper playing right. He's back. Fourth is Hoskins. Actually, he was back last night, but fourth is Hoskins playing first, and fifth is Romuto playing catcher. Sixth is McCutchen playing left. Seventh is Bohm playing third. Eighth is Maton playing short, and ninth is Spencer Howard, who is obviously doing the pitching. And so now we move on to the Sixers, who are moving on to the second round in the NBA playoffs. And we will also be addressing some other things about the NBA playoffs as well. But the Sixers are moving to second round. They were able to beat the Wizards in Game 5. They took care of them pretty well. And shout out to that one guy on Twitter who apparently said that there was everybody in the Wizards starting lineup was better than the Phillies, or the Sixers lineup. And then said the Wizards were in 4. Yeah, I'm sure that aged very well. But the Sixers I believe, are playing the Hawks. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was the Hawks. Right. I know the Knicks lost. Uh, and so that is they are playing for their second round. Yeah, they're playing the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow. Game one at 1 o'clock. So Mitchell wants to do a watch party for that. However, I don't think I will be able to make it to that. But hey, hopefully it'll be an exciting game. Hoping the Sixers will win. So speaking of the rest of the NBA playoffs, the Celtics are out. So it means there goes the Sixers' biggest worry right there. And also another thing about the Celtics, Brad Stevens is replacing Danny Ainge as the president of basketball operations for the Celtics organization, which means that Brad Stevens will not be coaching anymore, which means that the Celtics just pretty much lost their main reason why they were beating the Sixers all the time because they're getting out coached, especially when it matters. I mean, in the playoffs, like Brad Stevens was definitely, no matter like who we got, Brad Stevens was always like he was always like you can say Jason Tatum all you want, but Brad Stevens is really the main reason why the Sixers struggled against the Celtics for the last many years. But and then another thing, the Lakers. I was wrong, and I'm very happy about that. LeBron, for the first time ever, has been eliminated in the first round. I feel like it was due in part to Anthony Davis getting hurt in Game Five, I believe it was. But or was it Game Four? It was either Game Four or Game Five. But I know they lost the series, and I'm happy. I'm really glad that I am stuck eating a bag of Dookie, which is what I'm actually wearing today. How convenient. Um, so it worked. Oh yeah, here it is. I don't know if I got all of it the first time. It's a good album by Green Day, but I'm very glad to say that I was wrong about the Lakers series, and I was wrong about the Lakers going all the way. But Mitchell will be wrong about his prediction too with Ben Simmons, so I don't need to worry about that. And plus the conditions, he just put himself into a deeper hole. But if that happens, I honestly might give him a little extra. I would say I don't tell him, but he's going to be the one editing this, so I don't think it's going to happen, so I don't have to worry about it. But anyway, so we are going to move on, talk a little bit about the Stanley Cup. The Colorado Avalanche lost to the Vegas Golden Knights last night, 3-2. There was no goals in the first period, which of course is the only one I watched. And of course, the action happens when I leave because it's my luck. Vegas won Game 3, so they scored 2 goals in 45 seconds in the third period. I don't remember when. I don't remember like what the score was before that, but I do know that that did happen. That was their big factor right there in their win. Colorado now leads the series 2-1. Elsewhere, the Montreal Canadiens beat the Winnipeg Jets in Game 2, I believe that was indeed Game 2. The 1-0 was the final. Montreal now has a 2-0 series lead going home to Montreal. Hello, I don't know why I blanked. And another series, the Bruins a couple days ago won in overtime. Brad Marchand had the game-winning goal against the Islanders. That was Game 3. Boston has a 2-1 series lead. Game 4 is tonight at 7:15. That game will be on NBC. And the other series, Carolina and Tampa, the road team has won all three. Unlike the Vegas Colorado series where the home team has won all 3 games, the road team has won all 3 games. In that series, Carolina won that one in overtime. I believe it was like 2-1. That game it was it was 3-2 in overtime in Game 3 on Thursday. And then today at 4 o'clock, which is when the same time the Phillies game is, this Game 4, Hurricanes at Tampa, will be today. Tampa has a 2-1 series lead in that one. And then, once again, to remind you that the winner of this series, Carolina and Tampa, plays the winner of Boston and the Islanders. That will be that conference final. And then the winner of the Canadian series will get rolled over by likely Colorado. So Colorado Vegas plays the winner of Winnipeg and Carolina. So my new prediction, I originally had Colorado going to the finals like even before, but then I was glad I successfully jinxed the Penguins, said that they were going to go all the way because I just, for some reason, saw seeing them go. I thought that they were either going to get eliminated in the first round or they would make a long run, and that's what I thought was going to happen. But it was thankfully they were eliminated in the first round. But I still have Colorado, and now I think it's going to be Tampa, unfortunately, again. that will be going to the finals, and I actually don't know. That'll be an interesting series, Colorado Tampa. Um, so yeah, Rick Tocchet, by the way, I don't know if we ever talked about this, but Rick Tocchet was dismissed as the coach of the Arizona Coyotes. That's just a little side note as well. I found that a little bit interesting. I mean, yeah, I don't know if it was really him the problem. I feel like it might have been, considering the fact that they've had so many late season collapses, the Coyotes. But John Chayka kind of left behind a huge mess, so I don't really see the Coyotes doing much. Hopefully, it won't be as long as a playoff drought as last time, which was an 8-year drought, I believe. Yeah, last year marked the first time since the 2012 postseason that they made it, even though they really didn't deserve to make it, considering it was due to a qualifying round of it because of the pandemic. But they haven't legitimately made the playoffs since 2012. Like they haven't gotten like a good seeding. Like they won the whatever division, which I believe it was like the Southwest or something like that. Whichever division they were in, they won it in 2012. They got the third seed, and they went all the way to the Western Conference Finals, where they lost to the eventual Stanley Cup champions, the eighth seeded Los Angeles Kings. Speaking of Los Angeles, I already mentioned the Lakers thing, so never mind. We're good on that front. But the Phillies game is in about a couple of hours and a half. So that game will obviously be on NBC Sports Philadelphia, and also at 4 o'clock, as mentioned before, was the Hurricanes Lightning game four. Also, I believe that was on NBC, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But I'm really looking forward to the Stanley Cup playoffs as usual, like the latter of it. I'm hoping that the Phillies get their act together. I'm hoping that the Eagles are able to navigate around the cap situation so they won't become Vegas and only be allowed to dress like a few people, like, I don't know, 30 people. That did happen. I don't know if we ever talked about that, but due to like their cap scenario, Vegas, I believe in their final game of the season, were only allowed to dress like, I feel like it was like 15 skaters or something like that. I don't know, but they weren't allowed to dress like a full roster because of it, and they ended up losing that game, which is why that they don't have home ice against Colorado. So that, yeah, hopefully that won't happen to the Eagles. They're kind of in a little cap trouble, but apparently they are back below it, but not by much. I believe they're actually within a million of it, and yet, I mean, I'm still surprised they were allowed to make the moves that they when they were still like way under the cap limit. But thankfully, this will be the only rough year of it. And for all those of you who are saying we're going to get Julio Jones, it's not happening. He wants to play for a winner. The Eagles are not going to be doing that. And I predict, by the way, I've been saying this whole time they're going to go 7-9 at best. I think they'll go 5-11. So, oh wait a minute, there's 17 games. That's right. So 7-10 the best. Uh, so yeah, that's what I think about the whole Eagles scenario. And then now we're going over to the Phillies scenario. I'm hoping that once again they get their act together. Their bats and pitchers need to wake up and actually play well together. And that will do it for me for now. We'll see you guys next week with Mitchell. We'll probably do a double episode. I will see you guys then.